What's up everyone? Today I'm going to be real quick. I'm just going to address what's up with the new Flutter release. Flutter 2 is officially here and let's talk about it. So basically on March 3rd, 2021, Flutter 2 was released. Now, what does that mean for Flutter? And more importantly, what does that mean for your code? And how can you upgrade your apps to Flutter 2? Well, first let me just address something. Flutter 2 just sounds like a huge, major shift and change. And if you look at this list of changes, you're like, wow, that's a lot of different changes. The thing is, most of these changes are very, very minimal, and you will probably not notice pretty much 99% of them. Of course, they all help make Flutter better one by one, which is exactly what everybody wants. But for you specifically, don't feel overwhelmed by this. This just shows that the Flutter team is doing a lot of work right now, and that's great news for us. Now, of course, they do say Flutter 2 is a major upgrade to Flutter. But what has really changed? They're giving the emphasis right here on the any platform. And they're right, because technically, you can now use Flutter to create apps for iOS, Android, Windows, macOS, and Linux, as well as browsers, by which they mean you can do web apps with Flutter. Now, this is big for Flutter, of course, because up until now, Flutter was just a framework built to create cross-platform hybrid apps between iOS and Android. And that was pretty much it. And now you can use it to create web apps, aka websites, and also desktop apps for macOS, Windows, and Linux. And this is pretty much Flutter's first step towards becoming huge. Well, not the first step, but the first major step. Let's say it that way. The reason I said first step is because right now, support for desktop apps for macOS, Windows, and Linux is still in beta. So technically it's not quite production ready yet, but we're very close to it. This means that you can build the desktop apps, but you shouldn't distribute it to users yet. It's just not ready, at least for now. But when it comes to web apps, that is labeled production ready by the Flutter team. So that's great news. But web apps wise, Flutter's performance might still need some improvement when compared to native web apps. So it's not perfect quite yet. And like I said, you can literally go through the entire list of changes. If you have the tenacity to read through all of them, up to you. If you want something easier to read, more of a marketing type written thing, this would be the website. And I'm gonna leave all these 3 links in the description. But this one right here is the easiest to read. It's basically a blog-like post. But for those who are more technically advanced, you also have this article right here, which is basically this one, but more technical. This goes deep into the technical details of the release. So it's really up to you which one you want to check out, read through, and learn all the details about it, etc. The biggest change for your code is this one. These 3 buttons have been deprecated, and these 3 new material buttons have been introduced. They work differently, and that's why I already made a video about them. You can click the notification on the top right of the video if you want to check that out. But they're pretty much the same, they just have different properties, you style them differently, and they look a little bit differently by default. That's pretty much it. And I hope they don't delete the deprecated buttons, because there's already a lot of code that was written using these widgets for buttons, and in my opinion, it wouldn't be very nice to force people to update it. But we'll see. Hopefully they stay around. There's also some new iOS features that I recommend that you check it out, just so that you're always in the loop. And something very interesting as well is the Flutter Fix right here. And this is basically Flutter's way of helping you update your code whenever they make an update. Basically, this is just a tool that helps you identify which part of your code you should update. But it's really up to you. And here's an example right here. It would identify this line of code right here, and then you should change it to this one. So basically, it's just a tool to help you upgrade your Flutter code. And I definitely recommend that you check it out. I'm gonna also include this link in the description. To end the video, I'm gonna show you how to upgrade Flutter. Now, it's up to you. You can use your IDE's terminal, or you can just use your CMD, whatever you have. It's up to you. All you gotta do is type in Flutter upgrade and type in enter, and everything will happen for you. In my case, I already upgraded it, so nothing too interesting changes. And you can already see that we're already at Flutter 2.0.2. So that's how fast everything moves. It's really important to keep yourself in the loop so that you don't get left behind and you're always on top of your game. Having said that, that's pretty much it for today. If you thought this was interesting at all, please leave me a like and subscribe if you love Flutter. This is Flutter Mentor, and out.